Hello everyone, thank you for joining. I am Jisary and I welcome you to my channel where I do all different kinds of creative content. I did it! I really did it! A few weeks back I had the spontaneous idea to draw one character from Fantasy Life I, the girl who steals time every day. Originally I just wanted to draw them all without a time requirement, but it developed somehow into a 1 per day challenge. And after roughly 5, I thought, I will try to keep this going for at least 14 days and see if I can make it. I usually don't draw every day, more like every second day or so at most, so I actually had to push myself to keep it up. And what can I say? Here we are. Every portrait took me around 50 to 90 minutes. My goal was to be quick and capture the visual characteristics of each character in my own art style as closely as I could. Well, some of them look better than others, but all in all, I'm really satisfied with what I created. Let's have a quick look into the results by day, shall we? Originally I started with Laura. She's not really part of this challenge though, because I have drawn her back in June, when I hadn't decided yet that this was going to be a thing even. So I just wanted to give her an honorable mention here, because I already have drawn her. You will not be forgotten, Laura. The second but first one in the day-to-day challenge was Glenn. He was pretty easy to draw. Back then I didn't have the idea to take a fixed portrait size for the canvas. As I said, I just started drawing really without much thought put into the strategy around it, because as I said, first I didn't even want to make this a challenge. Just a let's draw something type of thing. I was also trying out a new type of hair shading in this one, so everything a bit wonky. Next one was Hilda. Here I started getting a bit fancier with the composition. I tried to get their character a little bit into the pose. Well, as much as a portrait allows. Didn't work out too well, and I didn't do a background. One of the pieces I liked the least, to be honest. Sorry, Hilda. And now we get into the slightly better ones. After Hilda, I got more motivated to do this regularly and to have a bit more of a structured approach to it. So I set up a quadratic canvas and decided to give them at least a flat color as the background that fit their color scheme. Layla is one of my favorite characters, so I took extra good care of her. And I wanted to make her look extra cute. And in my humble opinion, I think it worked out well. Good job, Layla. After doing mostly cutesy and good-looking characters, I wanted to get out of my comfort zone and picked Mustang next. He's an older male character with a lot of plate armor. And I have to say, I had a lot of fun drawing him. It felt very different. And again I tried to be experimental with the pose. He didn't turn out perfect, but I still like him, even though I think the name Mustang is a little questionable. Full with energy from mastering the challenge of Mustang, I decided to take a character with more unique facial features. Something that is not easily expressible with my style, which led me to Cherry. She has these empty big eyes, a very different looking nose and this like wonky hair. I think she looks fine, but I didn't enjoy drawing her as much. I also added a simple pattern to the background here as she is a carpenter, so I wanted it to look like wood in the background. Not my best work, but it's serviceable. Time for some cutesy vibes again. Monica was next. I expected her to come out just as well as Layla did, but she didn't. I don't like how she turned out. Not sure why. My original color scheme was also way too desaturated. The only picture I had to pump up a little in post-production. Sorry for killing your vibes, Monica. I went back to a male character and chose Ian next. He was one of the characters I unlocked first in the game, so I have a bit of a bond with him. He was pretty easy to draw, but in hindsight I made his eyes a tiny bit too big. But I like his facial impression. What a champ. And just like that, we are already halfway through. When I noticed I am already 7 characters in, I decided to make this video and make it to at least 10 days. Next up, I wanted to challenge myself again. Draw someone who is hard to translate into my style, so I picked Hazel. And I love how she turned out. I've never drawn a character like that, but I personally think I fit her very well. Thanks for getting my confidence back up again, Hazel. From here, I was really on a roll. Full with confidence, I picked Douglas next. Not easy to draw, but again, I think I translated his features into my style really well. His hair was a challenge. It totally doesn't work in my style, but I think it looks fine. I like him. With that, I was back again in my cutesy mode, so I picked Shea. She also had an interesting feature with her pupils. I've never drawn like this. And I think from all the characters, she turned out the best actually. At this point I had trained my new way of coloring and shading the hair and how to set up the backgrounds. It started to come together and become comfortable to draw. I think she looks cute and I totally hit her character with this one. Good job, me. Well, from now it can only get downwards, unfortunately. I continued with Fang to draw another non-human-like character. I really like his design, but he is somehow difficult to draw. He just has so many smaller details, but everything has kind of the same color. It was a bit odd. I also took a bit of a risk with the pose, but he is a bit cheeky in the game, so I really wanted to capture that. He took a bit longer to draw than the others, but I think he looks okay. Time for another challenge with features I never draw. Time for Damon. I think he was a villain in the first game. Not sure though, it has been a while since I've played it. In this one he's just a companion. And I'm not sure how I like how he turned out. He looks kinda weird, but I mean, his design is a little weird. I tried to embrace it, but I don't know. My brain is confused when I look at him. Probably fine? Question mark? Maybe he just doesn't translate well in my style, I'm not sure. So back to something a bit more mainstreamy. Kunugi. She's the very first changeling that you get. And since she is part of the story, everyone has her. Well, at least everyone who plays up to that point. And I really like her design. She was nice to draw and turned out okay. Not great, but okay. Which leads me already to our last candidate for this video, Klaus. Funny that Japanese games often have characters named Klaus. In German this name is considered very old-fashioned. His design is very mainstreamy. He's also very similar to one of my OCs, Sasha, so drawing him and his expression felt very comfortable to me. I enjoyed drawing him a lot, and I think he's a worthy end to this challenge. So, let's drive it home. And there we are, 14 days of drawing each and every day one of the characters of Fantasy Life I. It was a great experience. It provided a very good routine and a lot of stable practice. I know I have still a lot to learn and that my style needs a lot of polish. I also learned that not everything works in my style, which is really interesting. But I am so happy that I found a way of rendering hair that I like and that can be translated to all kinds of different hairstyles. I am looking forward to working this out more, and I really can see an improvement from the first to the last picture. 14 days doesn't sound like a long time, but doing something for 14 days in a row doesn't only train the skill, but it builds a routine. Before that, I wasn't drawing each day, maybe every second day as I said, and I always had phases in which I didn't draw for multiple days in a row at all. And I'm not done yet. There are 49 side characters in this game. And I am planning to draw them all. And I want to keep it a day-to-day thing. Whew. Will I be successful? Will I be able to keep up drawing for 50 days in a row? Well, we will find out in a month, or probably a bit later. But if you are interested in that, make sure to hit the subscribe button, so that you don't miss the outcome. Thank you all so much for watching. If you want to give me a boost in the algorithm, feel free to leave me a like or a comment. I wish you all a great rest of the day. Stay healthy and comfy. Until we meet again.